Hello, and welcome back to On Purpose, the place where we explore how to live a more meaningful and intentional life. I'm so grateful you're here with me today. We're going to dive into a topic that touches so many of us, whether directly or through the people we care about. It's a conversation about connection, disconnection, and the changing landscape of modern relationships. We're talking about divorce. It's a word that can carry a lot of weight, a lot of pain, and a lot of questions. But today, our goal is not to dwell in the sadness, but to seek understanding, to find wisdom, and to uncover pathways to healing and stronger futures. You might be wondering why we're discussing this. The truth is, the world we live in is vastly different from the one our parents or grandparents knew. The pressures are different, the tools we use to connect are different, and even our ideas about what a successful life looks like have shifted. Because of these changes, the dynamics of long-term partnerships are also evolving, and sadly, we are seeing divorce rates rise in many parts of the world. It's a trend that deserves our attention, not with judgment, but with curiosity and compassion. Understanding the why is the first step toward creating healthier, more resilient relationships for ourselves. In our conversation today, we will explore some of the key factors contributing to this trend. We will look at the powerful rise of individualism and how the focus on me can sometimes overshadow the we. We'll discuss the allure of materialism and how chasing things can lead us away from each other. Of course, we must talk about the digital world, about social media, and how these platforms can create illusions and erode real-life trust. These are not simple issues with simple answers, but by breaking them down, we can begin to see the patterns and learn from them. My intention for our time together is to offer you clarity and support. If you have been affected by divorce, I want to share some practical advice on how to navigate the healing process and rediscover your purpose. And for those of you who are just starting your journey into relationships, I want to provide a simple guide. We'll talk about what to look for in a partner, how to build a strong foundation, and just as importantly, how to recognize the early signs that a relationship may not be the right one for you. This is about empowering you with knowledge so you can make choices that align with your deepest values. Let's start with a major cultural shift that has been happening for decades, the incredible emphasis on the individual. In many ways, this is a beautiful thing. We are encouraged to find our own purpose, to chase our dreams, to become the best version of ourselves. Think of it like this. We are all told to become the heroes of our own stories. This journey of self-discovery is powerful and necessary for a fulfilling life. We learn our strengths, we work on our weaknesses, and we build an identity that is uniquely ours. This is the path to self-awareness and personal growth, and it is something we should all celebrate. However, when two individuals, each on their own heroic journey, decide to build a life together, a new challenge emerges. A relationship requires a shift in perspective. It asks us to create a new story, a shared story. The language has to evolve from I and my to we and our. This doesn't mean you must give up your dreams or your identity. A healthy partnership should support and amplify your individual goals, but it does require compromise, collaboration, and a willingness to sometimes place the needs of the union alongside your own. It's about finding a delicate and beautiful balance. The problem arises when this balance is lost. When the pursuit of individual happiness becomes so absolute, it can leave little room for the shared happiness of the couple. Imagine two people in a boat, each rowing powerfully but in opposite directions. They are both strong and determined, but the boat just spins in circles. This is what can happen in a relationship where both partners are solely focused on their personal trajectory without considering their shared destination. Their individual efforts, while admirable, don't contribute to moving forward together. This can lead to feelings of loneliness and isolation, even when you're with someone. This intense focus on the self can also create unrealistic expectations for a partner. We might start to see our partner not as a fellow traveler, but as a supporting character in our own movie. We expect them to fulfill our needs, support our ambitions, and make us happy, without always considering what we are contributing to their journey. When they fail to meet these often unspoken expectations, resentment can build. The we dissolves, and what's left are two I's coexisting in the same space, feeling unseen and unappreciated. True partnership is about being the hero of your own story while also co-authoring a beautiful new one together. Now, let's talk about the world of things. We live in a society that constantly tells us we need more to be happy. We are bombarded with advertisements for the newest phone, the fastest car, the most fashionable clothes, and the most luxurious vacations. This culture of materialism creates a powerful illusion that happiness can be bought and that success is measured by what you own. It sets up a never-ending chase for the next best thing, a cycle of desire and temporary satisfaction. This mindset can be exhausting for an individual, but when it seeps into a relationship, it can become incredibly destructive. When a couple becomes consumed by materialism, their shared goals can shift from emotional and spiritual connection to financial and material accumulation. Conversations that were once about dreams, feelings, and experiences can become dominated by discussions about mortgages, car payments, and affording the next big purchase. The focus moves from building a life of shared meaning to building a portfolio of shared assets. While financial stability is important, when it becomes the primary measure of a relationship's success, the emotional core of the partnership can begin to wither away. The joy of simply being together can get lost under the weight of wanting more. This relentless pursuit of material wealth often requires an immense amount of time and energy. It can lead to longer hours at work, increased stress, and chronic exhaustion. When you're pouring all your energy into your career or a business to afford a certain lifestyle, what energy is left for your partner at the end of the day? The time that could be spent on deep conversations, shared hobbies, or simple, quiet moments of connection is sacrificed. You might be building a beautiful house, but you're too tired to build a home within its walls. The partnership becomes a business arrangement, and the partners become colleagues working toward financial targets, losing the intimacy that once brought them together. Furthermore, materialism fosters a culture of comparison. We see the curated lives of others on social media or in our communities, and we feel a pressure to keep up. This can create a deep sense of inadequacy and dissatisfaction within a relationship. One partner might feel the other isn't earning enough, or that their lifestyle doesn't measure up to their friends' lives. This introduces a toxic dynamic of blame and resentment. The focus shifts from appreciating what you have together to lamenting what you don't. Love becomes conditional on achieving a certain level of material success, and when that perceived success isn't met, the foundation of the relationship can crack under the pressure. Let's turn our attention to the device that's likely within your reach right now, your smartphone. Social media has connected us in ways we never thought possible, allowing us to stay in touch with friends and family across the globe. It can be a source of inspiration, community, and information. However, this constant connectivity has a shadow side, and it is profoundly impacting our most intimate relationships. The digital world offers a distraction that is always available, always tempting, and always pulling our attention away from the present moment. It creates a subtle but persistent barrier between partners. Think about a typical evening for many couples. You might be sitting on the same couch in the same room, but you are worlds apart. One person is scrolling through Instagram, the other is watching TikToks, and a silence fills the space between you. This is what experts call phubbing, snubbing your partner in favor of your phone. Each time we choose our screen over a conversation, over eye contact, over a shared laugh, we send a small message. What's on this screen is more important than you right now. Over time, these small moments of disconnection accumulate, creating a vast emotional distance that can feel impossible to bridge. Social media also creates a distorted reality that can poison our perception of our own relationships. We scroll through endless feeds of perfect couples on romantic getaways, celebrating flawless anniversaries, and showcasing a life of constant bliss. We intellectually know that these are just highlight reels, curated snapshots of the best moments. Yet, on a subconscious level, it's easy to start comparing our ordinary, everyday life, with its messy moments, disagreements, and quiet routines, to these manufactured fantasies. This comparison can breed discontent, making our own perfectly good relationship feel lacking or flawed. It sets an impossible standard that real life can never meet. Moreover, the nature of social media can open doors to jealousy and mistrust. A like on an old photo, a direct message from a stranger, or following a new attractive account can all become sources of conflict. These platforms create a gray area in relationships where boundaries can become blurred. What one person sees as a harmless interaction, the other might perceive as a betrayal. This ambiguity forces couples to navigate a complex new digital landscape without a map, often leading to arguments, suspicion, and a feeling of insecurity. The very tools that promise connection can, paradoxically, become the instruments that drive us apart. Every healthy relationship, like a strong and sturdy house, is built upon a solid foundation, and the bedrock of that foundation is trust. Trust is the quiet confidence that your partner has your back. It's the feeling of safety that allows you to be vulnerable, to share your deepest fears and wildest dreams without fear of judgment or betrayal. When trust is present, you know that your partner is reliable, that their words align with their actions, and that they are your teammate in the game of life. Without this fundamental element, a relationship is simply a fragile structure, vulnerable to the slightest storm. The factors we've discussed, individualism, materialism, and social media, all play a significant role in the erosion of trust. When a partner consistently prioritizes their own needs without compromise, it can feel like a betrayal of the team. When the pursuit of money and status leads to broken promises and constant absence, trust begins to fray. And when social media creates a world of secrets and digital flirtations, it can shatter the sense of security that is so vital to intimacy. Each of these elements can plant seeds of doubt, and once doubt takes root, it can grow into a tangled mess of suspicion and anxiety. The loss of trust doesn't usually happen in one dramatic moment. More often, it's a slow and steady process, a death by 1,000 small cuts. It's the unanswered text message, the vague explanation about a late night, the password-protected phone that's never left unattended. It's the feeling that you're not getting the whole story. Each of these small instances adds a crack to the foundation. Over time, these tiny fractures spread and deepen until the entire structure becomes unstable. You start to second-guess everything, to look for hidden meanings, and to live in a state of constant emotional alert. This is an exhausting and unsustainable way to live. Once trust is broken, rebuilding it is a monumental task. It requires radical honesty, complete transparency, and an immense amount of patience from the person who was hurt. The partner who broke the trust must be willing to do the hard work of demonstrating their reliability over and over again, and the partner who was betrayed must be willing to take the risk of opening their heart again. For many couples, this mountain is simply too high to climb. The pain is too deep, and the fear of being hurt again is too great. The relationship collapses because its foundation has turned to dust. If you have gone through a divorce or a significant separation, please know that your pain is valid. The end of a relationship can feel like a small death, a loss of a future you once imagined. It's crucial to give yourself grace and permission to grieve. Healing is not a linear process. There will be good days and bad days, and that's perfectly okay. The first step is to simply allow yourself to feel whatever comes up: sadness, anger, confusion, or even relief. Don't rush the process or let anyone tell you that you should be over it by now. Your journey of healing is yours alone, and it unfolds at its own pace. One of the most powerful things you can do for yourself during this time is to reconnect with who you are outside of the relationship. For years, you were part of a we, and it's easy to lose parts of your individual identity in a partnership. This is your opportunity to reclaim them. Revisit old hobbies that you once loved. Take that class you were always curious about. Spend time with friends who energize you. Rebuilding your life starts with rebuilding your relationship with yourself. Create a list of things that bring you joy, even small ones, and make a conscious effort to incorporate them into your daily routine. It is also incredibly important to build a strong support system. This is not a journey you should walk alone. Lean on trusted friends and family who listen without judgment and offer comfort. Don't be afraid to seek professional help. A therapist or a counselor can provide you with invaluable tools to process your grief, understand the patterns of your past relationship, and build resilience for the future. Joining a support group, either online or in person, can also be incredibly healing. Connecting with others who understand what you're going through can make you feel less isolated and more hopeful about what's to come. Finally, focus on creating new routines and rituals that are just for you. The end of a relationship disrupts the daily rhythms of life, which can be disorienting. Establishing new patterns can help you regain a sense of stability and control. This could be as simple as starting your day with a 5-minute meditation, taking a walk in nature every afternoon, or dedicating Sunday evenings to cooking a nice meal for yourself. These small, intentional acts of self-care are powerful signals to your mind and body that you are moving forward, that you are building a new life, and that this new life can be one of peace, purpose, and joy. As you look toward the future, it's natural to want to build a relationship that is strong, resilient, and lasting. The key to this is not about finding the perfect person, because honestly, Perfect people just don't exist. Instead, it's about building a perfect foundation with an imperfect person who is willing to grow with you. The first and most important guideline is to choose a partner based on shared values, not just shared interests. Interests can change over time. The person who loves skiing today might not be able to ski in 20 years. But core values like honesty, kindness, family, and personal growth, these are the deep roots that will hold you together when life gets challenging. Before you commit deeply to someone, have the important conversations early. Don't be afraid to talk about the big things. How do you both view money and finances? What are your career ambitions, and how do you plan to support each other's goals? Do you want children, and if so, what are your ideas about parenting? What does a healthy work-life balance look like to each of you? It might feel a bit unromantic to have these frank discussions, but they are essential. Uncovering major incompatibilities in these areas early on can save you from immense heartache later. It's about ensuring your blueprints for life are heading in the same general direction. Another crucial element is to observe how a potential partner handles conflict and stress. Life will inevitably throw challenges your way, and how a person responds under pressure is a true indicator of their character. Do they become angry and blaming? Do they shut down and refuse to communicate? Or do they remain calm, seek solutions, and work with you as a team? A relationship's strength isn't tested when things are easy. It's tested when they are hard. Look for a partner who can be your calm in the storm, not the storm itself. This quality is far more valuable than charm or charisma. Finally, prioritize emotional intelligence and a willingness to grow. A healthy relationship requires both partners to be self-aware, to be able to communicate their feelings constructively, and to be open to feedback. The best partner you can find is someone who is committed to their own personal development. They are not perfect, but they are humble enough to admit when they are wrong, courageous enough to apologize, and dedicated enough to do the work to become a better person. When two people are committed to growing as individuals and as a couple, they create a dynamic, evolving partnership that can withstand the test of time. Protecting your heart means learning to recognize the early warning signs or red flags that a relationship may not be healthy for you. These signals are often subtle at first, and it's easy to overlook them in the excitement of a new romance. One of the first and most significant red flags is a pattern of disrespect. This can manifest in many ways. It could be someone who constantly belittles your opinions, makes jokes at your expense in front of others, or dismisses your feelings as being too sensitive. Respect is non-negotiable. It is the air that a healthy relationship breathes, and without it, love will suffocate. Another critical warning sign is controlling behavior. This often starts small and can even be disguised as care or concern. It might be a partner who questions where you are going all the time, gets upset when you spend time with your friends or family, or tries to influence what you wear or how you spend your money. They may check your phone or pressure you for your passwords. This is not love. It is an attempt to exert power and limit your freedom. A healthy partner will trust you and encourage your independence. They will want you to have a full life outside of the relationship, not be the sole focus of your world. Pay close attention to how your partner communicates, especially during disagreements. A major red flag is someone who consistently avoids taking responsibility for their actions. They might always blame you or other people for their problems. They may use phrases like, "You made me do this," or they may refuse to apologize sincerely. This is a sign of emotional immaturity. A relationship cannot function if one person is incapable of self-reflection and accountability. You will find yourself constantly apologizing for things that are not your fault, which will erode your self-esteem over time. Look for a partner who can say, "I was wrong and I'm sorry." Finally, trust your intuition. This is perhaps the most important guide you have. If something consistently feels off in the relationship, it probably is. If you find yourself constantly feeling anxious, walking on eggshells, or making excuses for your partner's behavior to your friends and family, that is your inner wisdom telling you that something is wrong. Don't ignore that feeling. Your intuition is your personal guardian, and it is trying to protect you. Even if you can't logically explain why you feel uneasy, honor that feeling and take a step back to assess the situation with clarity and honesty. Recognizing the red flags is the first step, but the second, and often much harder step, is knowing when it's time to walk away. Making the decision to end a relationship is never easy, especially when you have invested time, energy, and love into it. You might hold on, hoping that things will change or that the person will go back to being the person they were at the beginning. But there comes a point when hope turns into a form of self-deception. You must ask yourself a difficult question. Is this relationship consistently taking more from me than it is giving? If the answer is yes, it may be time to choose yourself. A clear sign that it's time to leave is when your fundamental needs are consistently unmet. We all need to feel safe, respected, and loved in a partnership. If you are in a relationship where you feel constantly criticized, emotionally unsafe, or deeply lonely, it is not a healthy environment for you. If you have communicated your needs clearly and calmly, and your partner has shown no willingness or ability to meet them, then staying is a choice to accept a reality that will slowly diminish your spirit. Walking away is not giving up. It is an act of profound self-respect. It's a declaration that you are worthy of love that nurtures, not drains. Consider the impact the relationship is having on your life as a whole. Is it affecting your mental and physical health? Are you constantly stressed, anxious, or depressed? Have you withdrawn from your friends, family, or hobbies because the relationship demands all of your energy? A healthy partnership should add to your life, not subtract from it. It should be a source of strength that helps you be a better version of yourself in all areas of your life. If your relationship has become a black hole that is sucking all the light and joy from your world, you have to find the courage to step away from its gravitational pull. Ultimately, the decision to walk away comes down to choosing your own peace and well-being over the comfort of a familiar but painful situation. It takes immense courage to leave what you know and step into the uncertainty of the unknown. But staying in a toxic or broken relationship is also a choice to sacrifice your future happiness for a present that is causing you harm. Letting go is an act of faith in yourself. It is the belief that you deserve more and the trust that you are strong enough to build a better future for yourself, one where you are free to be happy, whole, and at peace. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today on Purpose. It's never easy to tackle these deep and sometimes painful topics, but having these conversations is how we learn, how we grow, and how we empower ourselves to build more conscious and fulfilling lives. We've explored the complex reasons behind rising divorce rates, from the pressures of individualism and materialism to the subtle dangers of social media and the devastating impact of broken trust. My hope is that this discussion has brought you a sense of clarity, whether you are healing from a past relationship or dreaming of a future one. Remember that healing is a journey, not a destination. Be patient and compassionate with yourself as you navigate your path. And as you move forward, hold on to the wisdom of building relationships on a foundation of shared values, open communication, and mutual respect. Learn to spot the red flags early and always, always trust your intuition. You have the power to create relationships that are healthy, supportive, and aligned with your purpose. Your past does not have to define your future. Every day is a new opportunity to make choices that lead you closer to the love and life you truly deserve. This conversation doesn't have to end here. Your journey of growth is ongoing, and I'm so honored to be a small part of it. If you found this episode helpful, please consider sharing it with someone who might need to hear it. A simple share can make a world of difference in someone's life. And of course, if you haven't already, please subscribe to the podcast and our channel so you don't miss out on future conversations. We have so many more topics to explore together as we continue to learn how to live our lives with intention and on purpose. Thank you again for your energy and your attention. I appreciate you more than words can say. Remember to be kind to yourself and to those around you. Your journey matters, your story is important, and your potential for creating a beautiful life is limitless. I look forward to connecting with you again very soon in our next episode. Until then, take care and continue to live your life on purpose.